to you.
All right, dude. What's up? This is my boy Gashia. Um, God, how long have I known you for now?
I think we know each other for, I want to say 8 years,
8 years?
ever
Wow.
since I met
Wow.
your brother.
Oh yeah. That was a long time.
Yep.
Well, a little about Gashia is he's actually my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Right. Married my not him married, but his sister married my younger brother. So which makes us family. We're pretty close.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Love and appreciate this guy very much. So just tell something about yourself. Just go like I know you're not originally from the States. So
Yep.
just tell with
Well,
all that story where how you got to the States first. Where
Mhm.
were you born in France and what was your story coming here to the States?
Yeah. Well, I was born and raised in France because that's where my parents and my grandparents flew or
Mhm.
got uh, deported to, I guess, after
Right.
the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm.
And I was raised and born there, and I came here for college. I went to
Mhm.
Winona State,
Mm-hmm.
great school in
What-
Minnesota.
Yeah. What year? What year did you come here? Do you
I
remember?
was in 2013.
2013.
Yeah.
And
So about 10 years now.
how was the process of like being in France and then coming here? Like how long was that process and how hard was it to get here?
Uh, it's my dad helped me a lot,
Mm.
yeah. But it's a lot of research.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of money involved too.
Right.
But it's a lot of paperwork. You gotta talk to those programs
Mm-hmm.
who are in between schools here and you in France.
Mm-hmm.
They take charge of everything for you. You just have to fill out some paperwork, sign, and we'll find a school first as well. But once you're ready, you just fly here, and you're on your own, basically.
Mm.
Yeah.
Was it hard like leaving your mom and dad behind? Because you were the 1st
Mhm.
one who came here, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So how hard was that?
I think it depends on people. Yeah. Because if you have the mindset where you just wanna, you're very adventurous,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to learn new things and you're open-minded, then it's not too hard. If you're more reserved and shy, it might be harder.
Right.
For me on my end, it was hard only on the first few months, yeah, I would say, because you just come here by yourself. You don't know
Right.
anybody.
Right.
You have to make friends. You have to step out of your comfort zone, and I think that's the hardest part. But then you get more comfortable as you try,
Mm-hmm.
and it only gets better. Yeah.
Right. I mean, what was like the toughest part, like when you arrived here? Like I know, like it's a whole different country, completely new people. I
Yep.
mean, what was the hardest part? Like one thing in your mind where it's like, damn,
Yeah.
this was so hard.
Language barrier.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Number one, it's language barrier,
Mhm.
because I could understand people, but I couldn't really express what I wanted to say or things like that, or make
Right.
a full sentence. So I would always walk around with a dictionary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I swear.
Wow. I didn't know that. So, like, you weren't even like you knew English, but you weren't like extremely knowledgeable
Yep.
in it, right?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
10 years ago, I wouldn't be able to talk to you the way I am right now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that was the biggest point. And
Mhm.
then, of course, the culture differences. But,
I mean, what are some big culture differences that made you like, whoa, what's going on?
Honestly, it would probably, I would say the mindset, people, the way people perceive things
Mhm.
here and in France, the food, the lifestyle and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because the first time I met you, I was like, oh, just another Hmong brother. What's
Yeah.
up, bro? And then it's like, oh, I remember speaking to you, and I heard the accent. I was like, oh, I don't think he's from here, right?
Yeah.
But I know that, like, at first I was like, oh, you're pretty shy, right? You're like,
Yeah.
you weren't very I would say outgoing, but you weren't as open as you are today.
Yeah, I am.
Right.
I think I would describe myself as a introvert,
Mm.
like not fully introvert, but like halfway.
Right.
I'd say.
Right.
And I'm not sure if there's a term for that. But
Mhm.
I think I would say I'm more introvert. But once I get to know you, then
Right, for sure. No,
I'm
I totally agree with that. I think what was like, I know like when you were in college, how long were you in Winona for?
I believe it was 4 years and a half. to 5 years,
Oh,
something
okay.
like that. Yeah.
And when you were there, like, was it pretty hard making friends, or was it like, I mean, like anywhere else where it's pretty simple to make friends?
Yeah, it was, honestly, because I'm Hmong, you're
Right.
Asian, and reaching out to like other people, or like other ethnicity, or like or I would say it's easier to get closer to people who are like you, like
Right.
Hmong people, which those are the people that I reached out to first. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I made friends with mostly all the Hmong people in
Right.
Winona. Yeah,
Right.
and those were my main friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't make friends with other people too, but I wasn't as close to them as I was with my Hmong friends. Yeah.
Right. And I know that when you were in Winona, is that when you started like working out, or because
Yeah.
I remember the first time I met you, I'm like, damn, this guy lifts and he looks good. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy, he works out, he's good looking.
Yeah.
And I was like, did you start working out back at home, or when did you actually like
Yeah.
your workout routine? When
Mhm.
did you like really start with that?
Working out has always been like it's my lifestyle basically. It has always been part of my life, and never like never crazy, never super intense or something, but like activities, sports, and yeah, working out.
Mhm.
Back in France, I played soccer a lot. I did some Muay Thai, worked out on the side, always active. And then here, when I came to Winona, that's when I started doing more lifting at the
Mhm.
gym, because those are like it was easier, Just go
Right.
to a gym, get out. Couldn't really play sports around with people yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but yeah, every day, almost 3, 4, 5 times a week.
Damn.
Yeah.
And how does working out help with you though? Like with your mindset, with
Mhm.
your mental health, and with your physical health? How does working out play with who you are?
Yeah, that played a huge part. Let's say for especially for understanding who you are, and in times of stress, let's say after or before a stressful exam or after, you know, you go if I would go work out and then release all that tension.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go work out, it's less for for me at least, it's more like for getting lost. You get lost when you work out. You're on your own in your own world, and you feel better.
Right.
You connect with your body, muscle mind connection, things like that. So to me, it's I would advise anybody or encourage anyone
Mm-hmm.
to like go work out,
Mm-hmm.
just to exercise and feel tired, And yeah, I would love if people work out more, because it helps. Yeah.
And now I know that once you moved out of Winona, you came here in the metro area, right? And I know that you worked out a lot here too. You met a lot of great people,
Mhm.
right? So I know like the Hmong fitness page. When I wasn't that close to you, I know that I saw that it was a lot of like your videos and you
Mhm.
working out with a lot of these top guys,
Yeah.
And I think you created such a like strong community, always encouraging everybody to work out. How was like your experiences with like transferring from Winona, which is extremely small, right? And then you're coming to the metro and you're meeting all these people through working out and stuff, How was that experience for you?
It's even stronger. It feels even better because now you could actually reach out to a bigger community, and you could inspire more people. Yeah. And when you work out by yourself, it's not as motivating, I would say, or like the push is not as strong as when you work out with a big crew,
Right.
of people. It's because here you come here and everybody shares the same mindset, or at least everybody wants to feel better. And that feels good, if I work out with you and I see that you're pushing hard, then it makes me want to push hard too.
Right.
Here, some people are amazing, man. Some guys are doing super good, and that's motivating too. It inspires you to inspire others, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like you met a lot of like really close friends through working out?
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of these guys I know are like always working out. You know, I mean, some of the guys we know,
Yeah.
they're always in the gym. They're always pumping iron, and it's like a lifestyle. It's like what you said, right?
Yep.
And I know that now you are a parent. You know, congratulations. You just had your child just like a month ago or something like that.
3 weeks.
3 weeks ago.
About.
And so how do you put that? Have you thought about putting your workout routine with being a dad and how hard it is yet?
No. That's actually that's a good point. It's like it's the one thing that I told myself to not give up on, because we always talk about dad bod,
Right.
and how as soon as you have a baby,
Right.
you can you let loose on yourself, you know.
Right.
But I think that's just an idea that people talk about just for fun, or I think it's an excuse to like stop working out or like stop being active.
Right.
And I don't want that.
Right.
I honestly don't want that, because I want to stay healthy.
Right.
I want to keep taking care of myself, for myself, and also for my family and my baby.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you feel good, then people around you will feel good too.
Right.
You
That's
feel
true.
inspired, yeah.
No, I completely agree with you. I think just like working out in general, especially like if you're going through a lot of stuff in your life, working out actually just like relaxes you
Yep.
and puts all that stress down low, and it actually helps you sleep at night, you know. And I agree with you on that.
Yep.
Another question is, I know that when you moved here, then your sister came, and then your older brother came afterwards. I know that your mom and dad isn't here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how is that like a pretty tough thing for you that your parents aren't here? They're still in France.
Now it's been so long, and you get used to it, because you build your own family, you build your own circle around you, your friends that supports you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like, and now with social media, you know, you can FaceTime your parents or anybody around the world so fast.
Right.
So you don't have that missing feeling, you know, like before.
Right.
It was tough at first because I didn't have any friends, and I only had Wi-Fi.
Right.
So
right.
if you go to a place where there's no Wi-Fi, then you can't connect to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that was tough in that part. But now that I have people that I love and people that love me and we support each other, then it feels less like how do you say it? Like, it's not that I don't miss my parents as much, but it's like I could see them or talk to them anytime
Mm-hmm.
now. So yes, it's not that hard anymore. But definitely before it felt like something was off, basically. Because
like
your mom and dad is far.
Right. It's like something missing or something,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
And do you think that affected like your siblings too?
That I can't talk for them on that.
Right.
But definitely because I went through the experience first of being by myself and lost, basically,
Right.
without them, without my parents, without my whole family.
Mm-hmm.
Once they got here, I knew to take care of them in a way where I don't want you to. You're not gonna feel that, basically, because I'm here for you. I'm here with you, and we'll go through it together, basically. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not sure if it affected them the same way as it did to me.
Right.
Although I hope they had a better experience.
That's good. That's good though. Yeah, no, because I was like, man, like your parents aren't here. It was at one time it was just like you and your siblings, you know, just three of you guys, and I was like, man, like I can't imagine having that feeling because it's like you don't have a lot. Like, I'm not saying you guys didn't have a lot of friends, right? But like if you transfer to a completely new country, it's like you don't have friends. A lot of your family's back home. You know, like that, you know, it's like, oh, what do I do?
Yep.
You know, what do I do in my life? But it's also great to see like you guys have gone so far since you guys gotten here, and which is like one of the most amazing things I like see from you guys. And like now, I mean, tell a little about your career right now. I mean,
Right now,
yeah,
I'm not where I want to be be honest.
It's a start though, right?
To start off, I work at a hospital as a surgical tech. So basically assisting surgeons during surgeries. And I also do real estate on the side. Yeah. So just help people buy housing. Um, and I also am back into school for nursing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So going from surgical tech to a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically following, using the surgical tech skills to be a better nurse, basically. Yeah.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, because it's like, I mean, we don't really know what we want to do until we
Yeah.
actually start doing it,
Yeah.
right? And so, I mean, I've always seen you as a person who's like, you always have goals, you always have ambition, and like you just always grind, you know? And I mean, what would be your advice to those who are like, oh, you know, I'm too scared to do the first step? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
what would be your recommendation, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm scared too. Each time I envision an idea, I'm scared to do it because it's always that feeling of you don't know where you're going. So, or it's like jumping into a swimming pool. You know, you don't know how deep it is. You don't know what's inside. But once you jump and you do it, there is no turning back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So once you do it, then you just have to do it 100%. And like you said, it's like, you know, if you have an idea and you don't do it, then you're never gonna do it. And the first step is always the hardest. And if the worst thing that could happen is that you fail and you move on to something else. But if you never try it, then you'll never fail, but you'll also never know that you could do it.
Right. I mean, how do you take your how do you take your failures? Like, you know, I mean, we've failed multiple times in
Yep.
our lives, right? And what's your perspective on failure?
I love failures. Yeah. Because I've never seen. I love failing things because it teaches me how to succeed. Yeah. Because I mean, you know that. You know, if you learn how to walk and you fall, that's a fail. But then you stand up and then you try to walk again, and then you fail. You stand up, you do it again and again. Same thing, you know. Let's say if you want to become a doctor and you go to school and you fail, well, at least you taught yourself that maybe it's not for you,
Right.
and you could learn something else, do something else, try it. As if you fail, try it again. Maybe as you go on, you teach yourself that, oh, maybe this is not for me. I don't like it, or I just can't get it. But I could do something else too.
Mm-hmm.
So failures is always good. Yeah. As long as, okay, it's good as long as you don't always make the same mistake over
Right.
and over and over and over.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
So it's like understanding why you're
Yep.
failing. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly, yeah.
I think there are times when it's like when we fail, but we keep doing the same thing over and over again, and we're like, "Oh, why do I suck at this so much?"
Exactly.
But you keep doing the same thing
Yep.
over and over and over again, right?
Yep.
And I think that comes to like anything we do. You know, I think it comes
Yep.
to like our education. You know, if we go into sports, we have sports, or like, you know, even our careers, and you know, like a realtor. You know, because I know for realting, there's just so many competition.
Yeah.
You know, I think nowadays they're I swear, like everyone's a realtor nowadays. You know, it's hard though. You know,
There's a million of them.
yeah, and it's like you have to find, you know, your kind of niche. You know, like your uniqueness
Yep.
to compete against other people,
Mm-hmm.
and that just goes next to my segment is competition, right? Like, how do you, you know, what's your perspective of competition? Because failure is sometimes part of competition.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and how does competition affect you?
I think competition is everywhere, you know, and whatever you do, you will be faced with competition with somebody else who's better, or somebody else who's trying to be better than you, or like put you down or anything. But it's good, you know. It's good because you learn from others. Yeah. I love that if somebody is better than you, then go and learn from that person, you know. And ultimately, you compete to each other, against each other, but you could learn so much more from each other too, you know.
Right.
for example, if you go and play volleyball against a better team, you're competing against them, you're trying to beat them, but at the end you lose.
Right.
Well, you could learn at least one or two things. That, oh, maybe my defense was bad, or maybe I need to time better things, or I need to read the game better. You know, so competition is very good. Yeah. If it wasn't for competition, then people wouldn't get better.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. It's like the growth factor, right?
Yeah.
And there's always other people competing against you. Sometimes you don't even know that you're competing against other people, you know? And it's like with anything we do, even for like a job application, you're already
exactly.
competing with
Yep.
hundreds of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you do is like I think you just believe in yourself. You have the resume, you put in the work in,
Yep.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And if you get beaten out by someone else, fine, you know? You can find someone else to help you get better.
Yep.
I
No,
totally
sure.
agree with that.
For sure.
And I mean, nowadays, I know you're a big volleyball player. Well, you were a very big volleyball player. Come on, what's do you think about getting back into any type of sports? Well, I know you just had a kid, but
Yeah, I first of all would just be working out is like my hobby first, and then sports wise, yeah, volleyball. But I'm not like I just love the teamwork and the fun that you get.
right,
I don't want to. I would love to get better, but I don't want to become. I don't want to put so much effort and time into like being so good, you know.
right.
Because that's not my goal. My goal, I just want to have fun, and we should go and play volleyball.
No,
Again.
that's great though. No, that's
Do it
like
again.
that's like amazing though, right? It's like you have goals, like you have your immediate goals,
Yeah.
you know, working out, your family, your job, your career, and then at the same time you have a lot of side things. You know, you have like sports where it's like, hey, I'm here just to like let loose. I'm here to have fun. I'm here to meet other people, and I think that's great because it's like you're still, you know, you still have that social life. You're still having fun with all these other people, but at the same time you're still focused. You know, it doesn't mean that like when you're focused, that's the only thing you focus on. You know,
You're right.
And it's like I feel like once you start focusing on one thing too hard, you're just kind of like you lose yourself.
That's
you know,
true.
you lose to appreciate the people around you, what you have. You know, being grateful for a lot of different things. And I mean that goes with like us a lot because it's like. No, I mean we're both very ambitious people, right?
Yeah.
And it's like if we just keep focusing on that, we get to forget about appreciating the small things in life.
Definitely right. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, like nowadays, like, I mean, tell me your experience with being a brand new dad. Like, I know, like I said, we talk about your ambitions and your focus, but man, being a brand new dad and still having these goals, how are you doing right now?
So it's not easy. Let me say that. I don't want to lie. Say, oh, it's doable. It is doable. But it's true that being like the first few weeks so far, it's not easy because baby needs you so much. Yeah, it needs you anytime. You know, it's baby cries, well, you need to change her diaper or like feed her. And on the side, well, you still have to think about your goals. So right now I was working on my application earlier for nursing, writing purchase agreements for clients, and babies on the side. You know, babies in your arms. So it's not easy, but you have to do one thing at a time too. Yeah. Do what's the most important first, and what you can do,
Right.
and and don't be afraid to like ask for help too. Yeah, you can't do everything all on yourself. So that's why my wife is amazing. She helps me around. She supports me. My grandparents are here. My brother, my siblings. You guys are always here to like give me a hand when needed. But definitely, if you have a lot of goals, focus on the most important ones, and work around the others, the other goals. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, that's awesome to hear because it's like, I can't imagine, like, I mean, you probably only had like a few hours of sleep today, you know?
Yeah,
and
you can see it on my eyes.
right. And it's like your wife, she's probably didn't sleep much either, you know?
She didn't.
And it's like, it's so tough and you're still grinding so hard, you know? And it's like, we go through these things in life where like when it gets tough, what do you do, you know? And it's like, do you keep on going or you just like, fuck it, I'm done, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's I wouldn't advise to say, oh, fuck it, I'm done.
Right.
But everybody's different too.
Right.
Yeah, everybody has their own background, history, the way they feel or is different.
Right.
But in hard times, you need to relax, sit back and take a different perspective, or let's just sit back and look at what you're doing. What's the right things to do right now, and take it slow. You don't want to rush things. Yeah.
Right.
When you rush things, you tend to like make mistakes or do things you don't want to do. So sometimes, that's my biggest advice, is to like self-reflect and tell yourself, to just take it slow, one step at a time, and don't be emotionally controlled. Like, 'cause under stress, you just okay, I just want to give up everything and go live under a rock,
Right.
and that's easy to do.
Right.
Yeah, that would be giving up everything. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought that way before. I had many times. So I just want to give up everything,
Right.
and then live on an island, and then get lost.
Right.
But is that the right thing to do? No, because you have people around you that loves you. So for anybody who's feeling down or feeling overwhelmed, well, take it slow, sit back, take a different perspective, and reach out to people for support. Come talk to Komeng, come talk to you, come talk to me.
Right.
People are around, and they are willing to help you. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, I know that's very true, because I know it's like everybody goes through tough times, right? And it's like some things are like it's terrible. You go through such hardship, and it's like when you feel so alone, it's like damn, you just kind of want to like give up. Like I'm done doing whatever. I quit my job, or I like, or you leave your family, or you're just like, or like super depressed. And I think it's like always trying to be like, hey, first and foremost, like you are experiencing that, and that's terrible.
Yeah.
But it's like second, it's like you might not see it, but there's a lot of people who cares about you.
Yeah.
And I know that like you and I, we're close. We have friends and family who will always help us. And sometimes it's just like being able to just like, hey, tell someone like I need help.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the biggest thing, And a lot of it, it's like, the first person, if you're like in a relationship or you're married, that thing should come from your wife, right?
Yeah.
Or your girlfriend, And tell me like how important is it to like have a significant other who just listens to you and who supports you? Like how important is that, do you think?
Well, your significant other is the one who's next to you at all time, throughout your whole life. So that person that person is the one who's your backbone, basically. And that person will help you, support you throughout your whole journey. So your significant other is super, super important, I'd say. The one you choose is the one that you believe is going to be there for you during your best times or during your worst times.
Right.
And I can't even tell you, like, without my wife, I don't think I'll be where I am today,
Right. I believe that too. It's like having a significant other who's able to support you, and it goes vice versa, right? So you support your significant other too. But it's like when you go through hard things, it can shake up your relationships at times, And it's sometimes not even about relationships. Sometimes it's just about like your own emotions, And it's like, but being able to have someone who like understands you and be able to like, hey, like forgiveness, and let's just keep going forward as a team, just you and I. Well, now it's not just you and her, now it's you and her and the baby, but like for anybody else, it's like, when you go through tough times, your relationship should play a big role in going forward. It shouldn't be like, hey, I'm going through hard times, then this relationship makes me go backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's great, because I know your wife. Your wife is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very, very caring person, and I know you're an extremely caring person too. And I'm like, whenever I see you guys, I'm always like, man, like these are great people. I love
You
and
are
appreciate you guys. I'm always around you guys. I'm like, hey, like, we always have a good time for sure.
Always.
But like that respect for you and your wife and like your family is always there, because
Thank you.
I know that you guys are such strong, independent people with like who are so genuine, right?
I will try to. But thank you.
Yeah. And then just a couple more things. It's like, so I know we talked about like our struggles and stuff, right? And I know that being a dad now, there's gonna be a lot of things about sacrifice, right?
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
I mean, what is your thinking about like, hey, oh my gosh, like it's beginning. What do I need to sacrifice, and how does it affect you?
Yeah. I thought of that before baby came out, and I talked about it with my wife too. I think I think we talked about not really sacrificing things, but prioritizing things. Because sacrificing things is more like not doing it anymore. But prioritizing, it's more like we could still do things around the way we did before, but we will prioritize what's more important first. Yep. So let's say, for example, for me, going to the gym or meeting up with some friends, those things, it's not my priority. My priority is my family, my kid. So if I'm busy with my family and kids, then I'm not gonna sacrifice the rest. But I'm gonna tell people, hey, I can't go out because of this and that. If I have homework, if I have a client that's calling me, those are all priorities, So,
Right.
but with a kid, then you have to balance even more your schedule, your task, and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's a great way to say it. Like it's like when some people think about sacrificing things, it's like you completely remove it. It's like it's 0 to 100 and that's it.
Yep.
I love it how you say it's about reprioritizing.
Yeah.
Like you can still have hobbies, you can still have friends, you can still have all these things, but it's like right now, what is the main focus? Like I need to get done,
Exactly.
and it's like I need to support my family, my kid, and all that stuff. And I think that's great. I think I've heard it that way, and it's like it's great to see that perspective.
Yeah.
When people think about sacrificing,
Sacrificing, it means well, to me, the way I see it is that you completely stop the activity that you were doing, and it's kind of sad,
Right.
You still want to do things that you love doing.
Right. I mean, I think that plays a big important, right? When people say, "Oh, I have to sacrifice these things for my family." It's like it was like, whoa, like what are you giving up? Like
Exactly.
but it's true though. Some people, I think that mindset is there for a lot of like Asian guys. When they say, when your family says, "Go become a doctor," you're like, oh shit, I need to sacrifice a couple of things. It's like I can't go out and have fun. I can't play volleyball. I can't do any of these things anymore.
Yeah, and that's the sad part, because those things that you're doing, it's part of you. It makes you you. It makes you feel better about yourself. It makes you love life.
Right.
So why would you sacrifice those things?
Right.
So
No,
you
that's
always be
true.
you,
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that for sure. I mean, yeah, bro. Like I said, there wasn't much I wanted to talk about, but like I said, I just want to like get to know you more, because I know your story is pretty. I mean, I can't imagine going through all the things you've gone through, and like skipping countries and coming here, and like I appreciate you just talking to me and just telling me about your story
thanks.
and your goals and your ambition. And another thing is, where do you work out now?
Well, I work out at this gym. It's called Fit for Life. It's a Hmong-owned gym, and I would recommend anybody to go there, because they have everything that you need, all the basic equipments, and I'll be there. So if I see you, honestly, or if I see anybody, it feels like a family there. The owner is awesome. compang. He's just like a brother too. If you ask him for anything, he'll help you out. I love going there. I'm gonna go there today. I hope to see you there. You can always come. And if anybody wants to go there,
Right.
they could contact me and they could jump in and could work out together or just be in the same space and just inspire each other.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree with you. Like, I've been to Fit for Life like twice now as like a guest. I mean, I love the gym. I love Fit for Life, their community there, because it's like whenever I see you guys or just like, because the monk people there are just so inviting. You know, it's like if you're there and you don't know what you're doing, it's like these Hmong guys or Hmong gals will be like, hey, if you need help with something, or we just work out together, right? So I know that you and like our buddy Fong, that you guys work out there a lot, and it's like it's always great to see you guys are always so opening.
Yeah.
And like, what do you like? What? How is this? Let me rephrase this. So I know like working out in the gym, when you're by yourself, and like for example, we're going to like experience, right? You're gonna be by yourself, and it's like sometimes it just kind of sucks being by yourself, right?
Yeah.
So it's like how do you think it's important? Like if you're working out with so many other dudes, how does that help you become better?
Yep. So it comes back to what we were saying earlier. It's like working out with people. It makes you feel you have more energy, and going to a place where you have people with the same background as you, then you feel more at ease approaching them. It feels more homey, and it's more fun.
Right.
Overall, it's more fun. You
That's
have a good
true.
time. If you go, at least for me, when I will go by myself to any other big gyms, then it's just me and myself. So you just go in and get out. Just go in, get your workout, get out, and at times you feel like it's not fun.
Right.
So I'm just doing my thing like a robot. But when I go to Fit for Life, or I go meet up with my friends there, and we work out, we get a good pump together, we get a good laughter. It feels great, You stay there 2-3 hours. Oh, shoot. I think I stayed too long. I had too much fun.
I feel you.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, 3 hours passed.
Yeah. And ever since I've been there, I met some great people that are always there too. And those guys are way like up there, bodybuilders or really really knowledgeable, and they'll help you with your form. They'll give you advice. You could chit chat with them and joke around. It's people are people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think it's like if you are, especially if you're like a beginner or something, it's kind of hard to get into the gym,
Yeah.
But I know that, like, I mean, this isn't sponsored by Fit for Life, right? But but like I said, it's just our own experience with our own community,
Exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Fit for Life has always like put an environment where it's just so opening, right? Because it's like a decent sized gym, and sometimes there's a lot of people, right? But a lot of these people are so opening, And I'm always recommending, if you want some sort of camaraderie, or you want to build friendships with guys, and especially in the Hmong community, or even if you're not in part of the Hmong community, you just want to meet some dudes who are like close knitted and want to build each other up. I highly recommend Fit for Life.
Yeah, no, exactly. And like I said, it's if you want to try it out, like I said, or anybody, you could just reach out to me, and then we go in together, and then we could work out, or you do your own things, I could do my own things, and as long as you get to try it, the owners are awesome, very laid back. If you want to try it, then just come with me. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. I know that they do. Don't they do like competitions there too, like strongman competitions and like meets and stuff?
Yep, that's. I'm not sure if they sponsored that.
Oh.
But I know that they partner with Mark, who's the one who hosts all the time.
Oh, okay.
Great guy too. Yeah.
I know that Memorial Day they did do like a small competition in front of Fit for Life.
Yeah, in front of it.
Yeah, and there's a decent show up too.
Yeah, it's fun.
So to implement like the competition with like your community and like just always uplifting each other, I think it's definitely there. For anyone who wants to start working out, by all means, hit this guy up.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could go anytime. I don't know much. I just work out to stay healthy.
Right.
But we could help each other somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast, bro.
Thank you.
I know it's
Yeah.
like super last minute.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate it, bro. Thanks, G.